It's time now for the Beer Chill morning news on this Tuesday morning, September 1st, 2015. And good morning to you all this lovely Tuesday morning, September 1st, 2015 here. Here are your news that I zero out top story here at 8:30 in the morning time. Here is in Anchorage, Alaska, where President Obama on Tuesday will propose speeding the acquisition and building of new Coast Guard icebreakers that can operate year-round in the nation's polar region as part of an effort to close the gap between the United States and in Budapest, Berlin. Hundreds of angry migrants demonstrated outside Budapest's Eastern Railway terminus on Tuesday, demanded that they be allowed to travel on to Germany as European Union asylum rules came close to collapse under strain. Pope Francis allowed Roman Catholic priests and absolved women who have had abortions and they seek forgiveness during the upcoming Holy Year of Mercy, the Vatican announced on Tuesday. The U.S. Supreme Court has denied a request by a local court in Kentucky to deny marriage licenses to same-sex couples because doing so would violate their religious beliefs. Watch out, Donald Trump! Here comes Ben Carson, the bombastic real estate tycoon dominates much of GOP field. The retired pediatrician neurosurgeon with a called bedside manner is currently emerging as a serious presidential contender. The State Department released another round of emails from Hillary Clinton's server on Monday night. This time, approximately 7,000 pages of 4,368 emails, the largest batch made public to date. In Kiev, Ukraine, officials said that the toll from violent protests in Ukraine was risen to 3, and the worst outbreaks of violence in Kiev since the new government took over in 2014. Nationalist protesters clashed with police and National Guard. Islamic State militants in Syria have severely damaged a 2,000-year-old temple considered one of the greatest sites in the ancient world. Bangkok, a foreign man arrested by Thai police on Tuesday, played a key role in the deadly bombing that ripped Bangkok tried in August. Thai police spokesman Robert Thompson said, dozens of Lebanese protesters staged a sit-in inside the environmental minister in the capital of Beirut on Tuesday, calling on Minister Mohammed Machak-Razan. A Reuters witness said, monsoon storms hit Phoenix area on Monday night that knocked power to towns and slowed air travel and threatened motorists and flash floods. The long line of murders in American cities has started to take a deadly upward turn. Major cities across the country have seen the number of homicides rise from last year's figures. Missouri is set to execute on Tuesday a man who, along with a friend, abducted and raped and stabbed to death a 15-year-old girl in 1989. In Lafayette, Kansas, jurors who convicted of white supremacists have killed 3 people at Jewish sites in suburban Kansas City will begin hearing more evidence Tuesday before deciding whether to recommend a death sentence. Yahoo Incorporated chief executive Marissa Maris announced that she's pregnant with identical to twin girls likely due in December. Jakarta. Global economic growth is likely to be weaker than earlier expected ahead of the International Monetary Fund said on Tuesday due to slow recovery in advanced economies and further slowdown in emerging nations. The Bank of Portugal set negotiation with U.S. fund Apollo Global Management in the sale of state rescued Nova Banco after exclusive talks with China and bank insurance group company. Unemployment in the euro area is expected to decline to its lowest level in more than 3 years. Signaling the region's recovery is gaining pace even as strong class from China draw out of the asset. Take a look at stock market report here. The Dow here is 16,520.03, S&P 500 1972.18, and Nasdaq 4,776.51. Majority of the world's seabird species have plastic into account, and 99% will have global down plastic by 2050, according to new study. Scientists are working to qualify the risk of exceptionally devastating hurricanes. While such events are extremely rare, researchers encourage sea planners officials to prepare for storm surges far beyond what they have previously seen. In the prehistoric ocean, this was what a bad bug, as scientists are marveling at the world's oldest sea scorpion, the Pentacopterus, named after a Greek warship. University assistant fragments of the world's oldest crab may predate Muhammad scholars say. Back to school means getting back into school routines for some. Return to school, as always, started at farmers marks. The return to school, as sleep should increase likelihood to catch a cold, study finds. Regulating fast food kids' meals and include choice may end up making meals healthier, according to a new study and proposed new policy in New York City is approved that fast food meals that come with choice would contain fewer calories overall. Brain cells that burn out due to unusually high energy needs may be at the root of Parkinson's disease. Luce Ertuno, PhD at University of Montreal, Canada, and colleagues investigated why mitochondria, the so-called power of the cell, Surgery, hip or knee replacement appears to increase the risk of heart attack but briefly and over the long term, and it enhances risk of blood clots according to a recent study. All right. Looking at New England alerts here at 8:35 here. It's midfield right out. Building collapse 1150 Douglas Park to Brown University. Level 1. MCI declared for 50 by 105th Street and condition building that has collapsed. Multi-agency sponsor credited this time. Peter Cello News Time is out 8:35. Time out for a sports report. The Boston Red Sox edge out the New York Yankees 4-3. The two teams will guard it again at 7:10 p.m. tonight at Fenway Park. Near the beginning of the training camp, Washington Redskins quarterback Robert Griffin III shared some deep thoughts that alone was really surprised at us. Griffin always been candid with little regard for Howard. It was worse than slice up to 140. U.S. Open defending champions Serena Williams of the United States returns the ball to her first round match against Vitalia Didichenko Russia as Serena Williams in the U.S. Open ranking when injured opponent stops the play. Gilbert cruises at Flushing Meadows, and if the last of the Dodgers series open against the San Francisco Jets had less than a couple more innings after the Southman Scott would have pitched. And Peter with Channel News on 8:36 here on this Tuesday morning. Here is the 1st of September. It's time out for a travel report here. And let's off down and we're down where Route 146 at the stop by side. So from Route 50 all the way to Route 95 on downtown Providence here. 95 on the stop by side. We got an accident here in Pawtucket here around Route 122 in Pawtucket. So expect delays the 95 southbound from Pawtucket all the way up to downtown Providence here. 610 connector and slow from Route 6 all the way to downtown Providence here. Route 6 to the westbound side. So before the 610 connector here. Route 195 to the westbound side. It is so from Seacock all the way out to East Providence and downtown Providence there. 95 at the northbound side, so from Route 37 in Warwick all the way out to downtown Providence there. 295 at the northbound side, and then so from Route 37 to Route 12 in Creston here. 146 on both ends, so from Route 99 to Lake and Red Island there. Route 99 to northbound side, so from Woonsocket all the way out to Lake and Red Island on 99 northbound side here. Route 4 to the southbound side, and so from Route 102 in East Exeter all the way out to North Kingstown here. Route 130 into the westbound side, so from the Newport stretch here. Route 6 on the north. Route 6 on both ends, and Sagamore to Orleans are looking good. 28 is looking good for Bourne to Falmouth here. Route 95 on the northbound side is so from 295 in Albert all the way up to Route 152 to the north Edinburgh here. 24 on the northbound side, so between Route 106 and West Bridgeway, Route 123 in Brockton here. 95 on the northbound side, it is so from Kenton all the way out to Route 128. 24 on the northbound side, so before Route 128 in Kenton here. Route 3 to the northbound side, so from Derby Street to Higgins all the way up to the Braintree split here. 495 on the northbound side, we get an accident on 495 on the northbound side between Route 140 in Franklin and Route 126 in Bellingham, so expect some delays here. 495 on the northbound side is backed up from Milford all the way out to Route 9 in Westbury here. 120 to the northbound side, so from Norwood all the way out to Route 20 Waltham. 120 to the southbound side, it's so from Route 1 in Peabody all the way out to Waltham here. Southeast Expressway to the northbound side is backed up from Quincy all the way out to the Mass Pike here. Tippin Hill to the both ends is slow here. Mass Pike on the eastbound side, it is backed up from 495 in Westboro all the way out to Route 9 in Framingham here. And then Mass Pike Hittenbury Scan from Route 30 in Natick all the way out to the Austin Barton tolls here. Mass back into the westbound side. So for Newton Quarter, Mass back into the westbound side. It is backed up from Long Airport to Boston all the way out to the Prue Tunnel here. 93 to the southbound side. It is slow from Stoneham all the way out to the Zankin Bridge here. Route 1 to the southbound side. So for Revere all the way out to Chelsea doing an accident on Route 1 to the southbound side here. Around Route 16 in Revere, so expect some delays here. Route 2 to the eastbound side. So from Route 16 Melbourne all the way out to the Fresh Pond Parkway here. Route 2 to the westbound side. It is slow through the Lexington stretch here. Out in Worcester, 298 in the eastbound side. So for Route 146 in Worcester, all the way out to Route 9. 146 on the northbound side. So for 290 in Worcester here. 146 southbound backed up from Auburn to Southern here. 146 northbound side. So from Auburn to Southern here. 298 in the eastbound side. It is so before Route 485 from Marlborough. Route 485 southbound side. So from Route 117 in Marlborough, all the way out to Route 20 in 20 in Marlborough here. Route 2 to the eastbound side, so from Harvard all the way out to Route 485. Route 2 to the eastbound side, so for the active stretch here. 120 to the southbound side is slow from to the exit on 120 southbound Route 3 in Burlington here. 93 to the southbound side, it is slow from Route 380 in Tewksbury all the way out to before Route 120 ready there. 120 in the northbound side, so from Route 20 Stodom all the way at the ready there. Route 3 to the southbound side, so before Route 120 in Burlington there. Route 3 to the southbound side, so from Route 485 Lowell to Billerica here. 485 on the southbound side, it is so from Lawrence to the exit on 485 on the southbound side here. Around Route 114 in North Andover here. It's backed up to Route 133 Tewksbury here. 93 on the southbound side, stop and go for 110 to Lawrence to before Route 485 in Lawrence here. 95 on both ends. It is looking good from 120 to the New Hampshire border here. Up in New Hampshire, every trip I get on the southbound side, it is slow from the Manchester Airport Road to Bareback to the exit on the every turnpike after the Manchester Road here. 93 to the southbound side, so from Derry to Wyndham, New Hampshire here. Route 101 on the westbound side, so for the Stratham stretch. And 95 is looking good from Hampton to Portsmouth. And 95 main turnpike's looking good from York to Gardner via Portland here. But we get a few slow spots on Route 95, the northbound side, and main turnpike from New Gloucester to Auburn and Lewiston, Maine here. Okay, let's take a look at MBTA alerts here at 8:41 here. Subway system, it's looking good on the Commuter Rail. Providence Dalton Line train 810 735 a from Providence Lane today due to late turn of equipment for approximately 10 to 15 minutes, and the ferry's not looking good here. Peter Channel News Time is now 8:42 here on this. Tuesday morning here, it is time to weather report here on this Tuesday morning here, and the 1st of September is going to start off on the warm side here. Alright, 7-day forecast. It goes like this here. For today's sunny skies, high around 83 degrees. North of about 5 miles becoming light and variable in the afternoon here. Tonight, patch fog after 5 a.m. otherwise. Most of the coast got about 61 degrees. South of about 5 miles becoming in the evening here. Wednesday, patch fog for 9 a.m. wise. Sun skies about 88 degrees. South of about 3 to 8 miles an hour here. What's that? Patchy fog after midnight, otherwise podcast got about 67 degrees, south at about 3 to 6 miles an hour here. Thursday, slight chance of showers between 10 a.m. and noon, then a chance of showers and thunderstorms afternoon. Most of the sun skies have about 87 degrees, a light and variable wind, chance of is 30%. There's that, slight chance of showers before midnight, most of the skies got about 64 degrees, chance of 20%. Friday, most sun skies have about 76 degrees. Friday night, most of the skies got about 53 degrees. Saturday, sun skies have about 79 degrees. Saturday night, most of the skies got about 57 degrees. Sunday, sun skies about 85, low 62, and for Labor Day, sun skies about 88 degrees. Not temperature at 8:44 a.m., 70 degrees with fair skies, humidity 82%, and that is going to be it for the Peter Chell Morning News on this Tuesday morning, September 1st, 2015. Now, a good morning to good positive attitude here.